What's up, you guys? My name is Torrence, and if this is not your first time to the channel, I want to thank you for returning. Please give this video a thumbs up. And if this is your first time to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're doing a giveaway at 100 subscribers, and I'd like for you to join us. And if you also want any details on this eye look here, I'll leave that video linked right here. This is the Safari Raine palette by Colored Raine. And it was that palette that truly inspired me to do this one. During that video where I did this eyeshadow look, I showed you all that I had completely depotted my palettes, and I am someone who depotting palettes if for any reason I absolutely love the color story and the formula, but I either A, don't like the color arrangement, or B, think that I would get more use out of it if I paired it up with something else. And so my entire Colored Raine collection has been depotted. Every single one of my palettes. And I think out of all of them, this might be my favorite one just because I absolutely adore colorful shadows. As we can see here, if I cover this right here, those shadows there are from the Vivid Pigment palette. These here, the top 3 rows are the Safari Raine palette, and then these bottom 3 are individuals. I'm going to bring this a little bit closer so you can get a better view of these shades, and then I'll let you know the name of all of the shades. I'm going to first tell you the names of this palette, then go up to this one, and then let you know the name of the 3 singles. For the shade names, because just in case you see any shades you like, I want to make sure you know the names of them all. For the Vivid Pigment palette, starting left to right on the first row, we have Sauce, Unbothered, Drip Drop, Bossed Up. The second row, we have Party Drip, Lemon Drop, Jet Set, Cute. For the third row, we have Crushin, Level Up, Neon Blue, Vibez. And for the last row, we have Splash, Squad, Yacht Life, and Purp Smurf. For the Safari Raine palette, mine may look a little different because the colors are rearranged, but left to right, starting on the top row, we have the shades Clay, Matriarch, Congo Basin. The next row we have Toucan, Amazon Basin, Jungle. And for the last row of the Safari Raine palette, we have Tigress, Lioness, Green Valley. And the 3 original shades that I have are Forbidden, Unexpected, and Bay Breeze. The next palette that I have is the 4 6-pan palettes that they came out with. I believe 2 of these are still available on the Colored Raine website, but I do believe you can get all 4 of them at Target. And I want to go ahead and give you a close-up view of these here. Once again, as you can see, everything has been depotted and rearranged. On the top left, the very first palette we have is called Lovelies. And left to right, the colors that we have on the top row is Daydreaming, High Cutie, Love Love. On the second row, we have Pure, Misty Nights, Romance. The second palette on the top right hand side is called Berry Cute, and those shades left to right are Pinkleberry, Palmaberry, Platinum Berry. On the second row we have Kiss Berry, Love Berry, Purple Berry. The third palette on the bottom left hand side is called Smoke Show. And I think out of all 4 of these, this might be my favorite just simply because it has the matte green, and you know that I have a favoritism towards green. Sorry, don't hurt me. But the shades for the Smoke Show palette left to right are Cloudy, Naked Eye, Flammable. The second row we have Torch, Showtime, Smoke Screen. And the last palette on the bottom right hand side, which I think may be the most universal of the four because it's a warm tone neutral palette, it is called Beauty Rust. And those shades left to right are Daisy, Natural, Nighty Night, and on the second row we have Dream, Recharge, Dusk. And the next palette is the one that started my love for colored Raine. The very first two palettes that I purchased from them. Get you a better view of this here. The bottom one unfortunately has been discontinued, so I am so happy that I received it when I did. The top palette is the infamous Queen of Hearts palette. The bottom one is the Cheers to the Beauty. For the shade names for the first palette, the Queen of Hearts on the top, we have our shades left to right as Princess, Ladyship, Heir, Royal Prerogative, Empress, Duchess. And on the second row we have Noblewoman, Queen Mother, Crown, Royal Highness, Your Majesty, Dethroned. And for the Cheers to the Beauty palette, that very large shade that's in between the two palettes was supposed to be on the very end, but there wasn't enough space to fit it. That is just the highlighter shade that comes with the palette. But for the actual rows, our shades are going to be Boutonniere, Powder Room, Vintage Feels, Razor Glass, Debonair, Opulence. And for the second row, we have Rose, Nightingale, Grandeur, Diamond Jubilee, Iconic, Black Butterfly. And this big baby might be the largest one of them all. Like, look at how ginormous this thing is. Like, if you did not grab this bad baby, you should. I don't know why I did, because I didn't even fill it up. All I have in this thing is the Power Collection. This is the Colored Raine Power Palette that is empty. And as you can see, all I did was put the Power Collection here. It is a ton of space, but I did not care. I wanted this palette just so I can empty these and create my own custom cool and warm tone palettes. And you see, I've also depotted the palette and put them in 3 separate looks. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you the names and the arrangements of everything. For the names of everything, I'm going to start at the very top, because the top row is all 4 highlighters and the bottom 4 are blushes, and they all came in duos. Starting left to right, the top left highlighter came from the Prove My Loyalty duo. The next one came from the Call My Shots duo. The third one was from the Damage Control duo. And the fourth one was from the My Day One duo. Next row for the blushes, we have the blush from the Damage Control duo, the My Day One blush, Call the Shots blush, Improve My Loyalty blush. Next, for the Power Palette eyeshadow, I'm going to tell you the shades starting at the top row and going my way down, because I did put them in 3 different trios. So in that first column, the very first shade at the top is Truth. The next one down is Deception. And the one below that is Testify. In our middle column, our 3 shades are Legacy, Respect, Alibi. And in the last column, our shades is Revenge, Betrayal, Snitch. The next 2 palettes I want to show you, I combined them into a Sephora double-sided palette. This is the Urban Decay Vice and Vice XX Limited palette. I bought them because of the color variety that they offered when you picked up the palette. But what I immediately realized is that it was a jumbled color story and I was never using them because they had bulky packaging and I never thought I could get a complete look. So I depopped both of these palettes, and as you can see, I tried to arrange them with the neutrals at the top, the greens on the other side, and I tried to work my way down to the cool tone colors, but I realized I get much more use out of these shades like this, but because neither palette is available anymore, I tend not to mention this online. And it's the same thing with this one, because this was Urban Decay on one side and it's a double-sided palette. I just decided to flip it over and add the Alice Through the Looking Glass palette. And to me, there are still some times where I honestly wish I did not depot it, because the packaging on that was stunning. Like, it was probably the most beautiful packaging I've seen for Alice in the Looking Glass. Just because it had any relevance to Alice in Wonderland, I had to get it. But I rearranged the colors like this to get more use out of the palette, and although I generally do, I still wish I had that packaging right now. But I want to show you what these colors look like here. And as you can see, it makes it so much easier to get a full look if I know that top row is all mattes, that second row is either satins or mattes with floating glitters. Then we have our row of neutral shimmers, our row of colorful shimmers. And this top shade right here is not an Urban Decay shadow. It's actually a Makeup Forever. I think that's M100. I just didn't have a black on either side of this palette. And in case I wanted to take it traveling, I wanted to make sure I had a matte black. So I just added that to this. The next palette that I have is this one here. Another Sephora double-sided palette, but I don't have anything on this side here. This is empty. It's this side here that we have. It's this side here that we have 6 individual Sephora blushes and highlighters. I believe they have since either changed the packaging or distributors or something, but at one point in time, these went on a big clearance sale, and I really wanted to try the formula out. I really like them, but you don't see many people talking about them, so I'm going to give you a close-up of these and let you know the names. I believe I only have the numbers for them. They didn't have the names inside them. They were on the packaging. But top row left to right, we have number 19, number 12, number 21. And on the second row, we have numbers 13, number 9, and number 8. And I just generally bought these because they were on sale. This color right here though, this number 13, I use this as a blush. I use it as a highlighter. I just had to give you a swatch of him. Like, she is so pretty, and it is a color I never would have thought could be a blush on my skin tone. But if you go in light enough, it is absolutely beautiful. Since we're on highlighters, I want to go ahead and stick to those and show you this palette here. And let me give you a closer look of this here. And these larger 3 here are the ABH Glow Kit highlighters. The names left to right are Sunburst, Summer, and Golden Bronze. And the reason I put them in this palette is because they were not my shade and I was never using them. What I was actually using was this one here, Drippin' in Gold, which I have in its own individual palette because he's the one I used all the time. So I keep this one with me. Wait, the bottom 3 highlighters there are the Manizer Sisters. We have Mary Lou Manizer, Cindy Lou Manizer, and Betty Lou Manizer. And as we all know, at one point in time, the Manizer Sisters were the queen highlighters, but I never found that any of them were quite my shade. I found the first one too light, second one too pink, third one too dark. So I put them in a kit just in case I ever needed them for freelancing, and that's why they're here. And of course, this one here is the KVD Vegan Beauty Alchemist palette. They've put it on like clearance. I think now it's only like $10, but at one point in time it was over $30, and I absolutely love it as an inner corner highlight or to top off an eyeshadow. Starting left to right are the pink shade Opal, the purple shade Amethyst, and on the second row you have the blue shade Sapphire and the green shade Emerald. I've been trying to find a replacement for them, and so far I haven't. I truly think those Kaleidos ones are gonna be it, and they just launched a whole nother collection, so it's like, I haven't even gotten the first ones and you already got some more for me to get. So I'm gonna have to stack my bread up and hurry up and get those to test them out. The next palette, once again, is a Sephora double-sided palette, but I'm only utilizing one side of it. And at one point they were arranged into a color story that I liked, but I recently did a Natasha Denona video, which you can check out right here, where I created my own palette. And because of that, I ended up putting them back into the palette in the correct order just to make sure I didn't lose or get anything mixed up. But this one here is full of Natasha Denona shadows. And I absolutely love it. That first palette on the top row is Joya. The second one is Aries. And the bottom two are the Cranberry palette. The first one was the original release from Holiday. The second was the re-release of the permanent ones. And nothing bad that I can really say about these. They are actually in order, so if for any reason you have those colors, there's no need to figure out which ones I have, but I think the only one of the three that you can purchase right now is that bottom row Cranberry palette, but none of them are out of order, so I like them, but I personally wish that these two holiday palettes would have stayed, because I think those are the ones I hear absolutely everyone talking about, so I'm not sure why they... Well, I mean, it was limited edition when she brought it out, so I see why, but she should have kept them because we liked them. And the last four palettes, they are not out of order, but they have been depotted. Right now, my absolute holy grail matte eyeshadow formula is Viseart. I absolutely love them. And at one point in time, their palettes did not come in a container where you could depot them. You had to take the risk of breaking your shadows when you depotted them. And unfortunately, that's how I learned. My first one is my Warm Mattes palette, which I have in just this plain packaging. I depotted it. Beautiful thing about these is for any reason you shatter them, they repress beautifully. But I took a chance. I depotted this one, shattered a few, but she's still kicking strong, so I'm not letting her go. And this one, I have a limited edition Betty Boop palette. And I have my Cool Mattes 1 and my Cool Mattes 2. And unfortunately, my Cool Mattes 1 has received some damage because she got depotted. Some shades were shattered and repressed. But as you can see, the Cool Mattes 2 is in perfect condition because they had already come out with them where they can just be snatched out. So I'm truly appreciating that. The Viseart Bright Mattes and Dark Mattes. My Bright Mattes used to be my Holy Grail palette. And she didn't take any damage, but as you can see, that Dark Mattes palette, baby, she went through it. And this one is also in a limited edition Betty Boop Z palette, but I absolutely love this Viseart set that I created here. Whether I want to go light, whether I want to go dark, this will give me the colors of my dreams, and I absolutely would never want to get rid of this palette. Not the container, not the shadows, anything. I was surprised. I truly thought I would never find a palette better than this one. But the Grande Pro 3, she's fabulous. And the last one, this is just in a Sparkly Z palette. I believe this is the Bridal Satins and the Bijou Royales. An all shimmer palette, so as you can see, it looks relatively new just because Viseart makes my favorite matte formula that there is no way in the world I'm going to do an all shimmer look with this brand. I'm going to be putting a matte somewhere just because I love them so much. But I have this and I generally really need to get more use out of them because I'm looking at certain shades like, this looks pretty and it's never even been swatched. Like, what are we doing with our lives, Torrence? Y'all, excuse me, I was not trying to do any swatches, but I just want to see what this looks like because I'm like, I've never used these. Yeah, like look how those bridal satin, those are some nice pastel colors I didn't even realize I had. Okay. I'm feeling real crazy now. I'm feeling real crazy now that I noticed how pretty these shadows are. I truly hope you all enjoyed this video today. If you have any of these palettes, please leave a comment down below. Also leave me a comment letting me know if you would like me to do a look with any of these palettes, because I just want to make sure that you all get the content you want. I also have an upcoming video of the palettes that I've depotted but put back into their palettes. It was simply because I just wanted to rearrange the color story, but actually like the packaging. So if you want to see that video, let me know as well. But if there's nothing else, remember to continue to practice, stay blessed, and until next time, bye YouTube.